Hey people, it's NIyas713. Now this is from The Guardian. Philadelphia lab briefly locked down after worker finds smallpox vials in freezer. Worker found questionable vials while cleaning out freezer, but CDC says no one is exposed to the deadly disease. A lab worker at a Merck facility outside Philadelphia found 15 questionable vials labeled smallpox and vaccinia while cleaning out a freezer earlier this week, raising harrowing security concerns. The FBI and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention are investigating the discovery, which involves a disease that is believed to have killed more than 300 million people since the dawn of the 20th century. The Pennsylvania facility, which does vaccine research, is no longer on lockdown. The lab worker had gloves and a face mask when they found the vials, the CDC said. There is no indication that anyone had been exposed to the small number of frozen vials, a CDC spokesperson told Yahoo News, adding their contents appear intact. Officially, smallpox can only be stored at two places in the world, located in Atlanta and Russia. Other unauthorized samples should have been transferred or destroyed, the Philadelphia Inquirer reported, though some have popped up elsewhere in recent years. The disease killed roughly 3 out of 10 people who contracted it, the CDC says, an unimaginable loss of life. But by the 20th century, it had been defeated globally, a fact many consider the biggest achievement in international public health. Smallpox remains one of only 2 officially eradicated diseases, according to the American Society for Microbiology. Richard Ebright, a professor of chemistry and chemical biology at Rutgers University, suggested to the inquirers that the vials in Pennsylvania represented a security threat. Someone with bioterrorism plans could have found and used them. But people should not be afraid that the vials will cause an outbreak, and even the lab worker who discovered them should be safe, he said. For the general public, there is no basis for being worried, even a small amount. Now, I saw this and I immediately became suspicious because they've been talking constantly about new plagues that are going to kill people in the millions. And then this, one of the deadliest plagues ever, 300 million over the course of about the 20th century. So are we being prepped like, oh, so it turns out that there were some missing and then somebody gets exposed and then we find out that there's another plague? Perhaps all this pandemic was just to mentally prep us for the real plague. So I don't know what's going to happen, but be ready and make sure you have stocked up on supplies, because you may, if this actually does become like a plague and gets unleashed on the public, have to stay at home and possibly isolate yourself, because if this thing, oh my God, with 30 or 40 years of people not being exposed to it and having no immunity, it could kill hundreds of millions within a very short space of time. Anyway, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. I'm going to leave this article in the description. If you don't want to follow me on Instagram, I'll leave it there as well. If you want to support my Cash App, I'll leave that there as well. Anyway, peace.